Okay, what are prefixes? Prefixes are basically adjustments. Okay, to make numbers easier to read. Okay, so what kind of adjustments are we looking at? We are looking at a big number becoming a small number, basically. Okay, or maybe a small number to a reasonably like decent number. Okay, so just now like our 3,600,000 something joules and whatnot, we can put the mega there, becomes 3.6, right? A lot easier to write. Okay, so here are your prefixes. First, we have just 10 to the power of 0, okay, which is just equals to 1, nothing, right? So I have nothing attached to this. So this is just by itself. Okay, what if I have something 1,000 times bigger than this? So 10 to the power of 3. Okay, 10 to the power of 3, this is called kilo. So you can think of it from like a computer kind of thing, like a storage kind of thing. You have a kilobyte, for example. That is 1,000 bytes, basically. Okay, or the next one we have is 10 to the power of 6. It's 1,000 times bigger. So after a kilobyte, what do you have? You have a megabyte, for example. And then after a megabyte, then what you have, you probably have a gigabyte, right? So that's the next one. And then you have the next one, after a gig, then what you have a tera, right? So you have a terabyte. So this should be quite, relatively okay if you just base it on real life stuff. Okay? Okay, you don't need to know anything bigger than T, so that's good. Or anything bigger than G actually. Okay, so this is in multiples of 3. Okay, multiples of 3. What about smaller things, right? So smaller things, I have 10 minus 1, that is deci. 10 minus 2 is centi. 10 minus 3 is milli. 10 minus 6 is micro. 10 minus 9 is nano. Micro is given this mu symbol. This is called mu. Okay. If you press this in your Microsoft Word, this is what you get. Or mu, sometimes without the I. It's just a letter M actually. Okay, so this is going from -1 to -2 to -3, then multiples of 3. Okay, so after nano, if you have more, it's at -12. This is called pico, but it's not important, so let me not just put this here. Okay, so it's -1, -2, -3, then 369, then all the way. Okay, okay, with that, let's put in some examples of how to convert the prefixes around. Okay, so the simpler way to think about this is if you want to add a prefix, you will divide. Okay, you remove a prefix, you will multiply. Let me show you an example. I have maybe 30 kilometers. So example, I use a grid, 30 kilometers. And I want to convert these to meters. Okay, so I'll take 30. I look at it, I say I want to remove who? Remove kilo. 30 times 10, I look at kilo, 10 to the power 3. 30 times 10 power 3. This will be in meters. Can you see how it works? So I want to get rid of a unit, this will get rid of kilo. What if I want to get actually 30 kilometers and I want to convert this not to meters, but to centimeters? In that case, I need to do two things. My first step is to get rid of the kilo. So my first step is to get rid of this. But my next step is to add in the centi. So to add in the centi, what do I have to do? I have to divide. What do I have to divide? 10 minus 2. Divide by 10 minus 2. This will add in the centi. Can see? Doesn't matter if it looks complicated on paper, because throw this inside a calculator, your calculator figures everything out for you. So just know the process. Answer, you can get it easily from a calculator. So this is how we do a prefix conversion. To get rid of something, we just multiply. To add in something, we divide. Okay, let's go something a bit more complicated. Okay, what if we have something like this? I have maybe grams per cm cube. And then, okay, maybe let's not go this complicated yet. Let's maybe go cm cube to meter cube. How about it? Okay, cm cube to meter cube. Okay, so for cm cube to meter cube, right, let's use 30 as well, 30. So how do I convert this? So I say that 30, I look at it, I say that, oh, okay, I want to get rid. So I want to get rid, I need to multiply. So I'll multiply. What is centi? Centi is 10 minus 2. So far still okay? Okay, right, good. However, what is a cm cube? A cm cube is a box, basically. It's a volume where each side is actually going to be cm, right? Length times breadth times height. That's how I get cm cubed 3 times, right? If I get rid of this once, right, I'm actually only converting one of the cm into meter. I am not converting 3 times, because clearly this is only working for centi to no more centi. So what do I have to do? I have to actually convert all 3 of them. So I need to do another time, and I need to do this another time. Okay, from math, right, from indices, I can just say that I'm going to power these 3 times. And this comes from this. I have 3 dimensions to convert. Okay, not just one dimension. Length, breadth, and height all have to convert. Which is why in your chemistry, right, we have this 10 to the power minus 6 that we get. It's from cm cube to meter cube. Okay, so that's where this conversion comes from. Okay, so that is if you have this one. Let me just write down like the different cases that we are exploring. So this is a simple case. Okay, this one is the like a 3D, 2D kind of case. Okay, and then the last one is a fractional case. Okay, so the last one here is if I have a fraction kind of thing, how do we convert this around? Okay, so the last one is the one that is a bit more useful. Something like maybe 30 grams per cm cube. How do I convert this to maybe kilograms per meter cube, for example? Right, so I need to convert not just the units but also the like the kilo as well as the meter, and then you got numerator, got denominator. This one looks a bit more complicated. Okay, so this one is the most complicated of all. Okay, the first thing to do, right, is to recognize that I can break this down into a fraction. So I can first just write it as this: 30 grams over 1 cm cube. That is exactly the same as 30 grams per cm cube, right? Okay, so I will do the conversion one by one. I'll do the top one first, then I do the bottom one. What is the top one? The top one is grams to kilograms. That is a case of simple conversion. Can you see? So grams to kilograms, what do I have to do? I need to add. I need to divide the kilo into it. So I'll put equals 30 times, not times, divide 10 to the power 3. There we go. 30 times 10 to the power 3, and then I'll write down kg. I have not done anything to the bottom, so I'm just going to keep it as 1 cm cube. At this point, what do I have? I have the unit converted to kg per cm cube, halfway there of what I want. The next step is to get rid of the centi. How do I get rid of something? I will multiply away. So 30 divided by 10 power 3. Okay, still keep the denominator at this. So the below is now multiply away. Multiply what? Multiply centi. Why centi? 10 minus 2. Therefore, this is now kg per meter cube. Remember, in our second case, when we have a 3D thing, we have to cube this. So I will put a cube here. Can you see?
Yeah.
Okay, so that will convert us from grams per cm cube to kilograms per meter cube. So first you do the numerator, then you do the denominator. Follow the procedure, right? To add something, just divide. To get rid of something, just times. If there's a cube, then do a cube after that. Then just throw this whole thing into your calculator, you'll get the final answer. So how will it look like? Give you a very simple, quick example. It will look like this. So I have 30 divided by 10 to the power of 3. Then below is 1 times 10 to the power of negative 2, bracket 3, close bracket. That's it. This is 30,000 kilograms per meter cube. Okay, so that's just a final value for this. Okay, so with this, right, you should be able to convert between all sorts of units and prefixes in your syllabus, including for chemistry as well. Okay, so yeah, this is something that's pretty useful because anything science-based related, you need to use this. Okay, and that's the first kind of concept for this. Okay, for measurements and units, how to convert the prefix and what's the base quantities and derived quantities.